Hello, my nerdlings. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. And today, it's TBRinko Day. I'm super excited to film it. However, I mixed up my prompts that were originally on my board, and I don't feel like going back and rewatching last month's TBRinko to figure out which prompts need to be where. So we're just going to start new. So we're going to do 4 drops. If you want to know how I did in the month of January, you can watch my wrap up. I will make sure it's linked down below. So yeah, let's get TBRinko set up and play. Where's our... Let's do librarian rec. Poll pick. Random color. Oh no! Our thing broke here too. I don't know if you can see that. We'll fix that later. And then random letter. Flip a coin. Heads is nonfiction, tails is fiction. And then let's grab a pink. Sun pick. I just had a nickel somewhere. All right, then let's make sure this is straight. Looks it. Drop number 1. Sun pick. We'll ask Quincy because he's been sick lately, so he probably could use something to make him feel better, make him feel special. Then random shelf. Drop number 2. It's right in the middle. And usually I would combine the prompts, but we're not going to. We'll just redrop. And drop number 2, take 2. Librarian recommendation. Good thing I went to the library the other day. A pick from someone else's TBR. I don't know how we would do that, but we will figure that one out. Drop number 3. We got, random letter. And we'll replace it with debut. Last drop, drop number 4. is debut. Okay, so we have the member board. Let's hit spin. Whee! Read a book by a Virgo author. Okay, it's the following day. I had some company show up while I was in the middle of filming yesterday and didn't get to finish filming TBRinko, but I do have my book selected. For our Pentagon prompt, we got Hui, and it's read a book by a Virgo author. So I'm going with Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. This is a Poirot murder mystery. The first victim was Mrs. Asher of Andover, the second Betty Barnell of Bexhill. They were murders without motive, a grisly play of a madman's alphabetical whimsy, and each act was announced, inviting the incomparable Hercule Poirot to stop the taunting killer. So, I mean, Agatha Christie is the queen of murder mystery. So, there's book number 1. And then I can't remember which order our drops were yesterday. I think librarian recommendation was first. So let me just. I think at least that's what I'm going to go with. So for my librarian rec, we're going to go with Full Measures by Rebecca Yarros. I don't know what this is fully about. Just I walked in to the library, and I told the librarian, like, this is apparently what I've been in the mood for. Do you have any recommendations? We actually have a whole table of recommendations, and this was on it. It says, after 20 years as an army brat, Ember Howard knew that soldiers at the door meant her dad was never coming home. What she didn't know was how she would find the strength to single-handedly care for her crumbling family when everything starts to fall apart. Then Josh Walker enters her life, hockey star, her new next-door neighbor, and not to mention that he saves her over and over again. He has a way of erasing the pain with a single look, a single touch. As much as the wants turn off her feelings and endure the heartache, on her own she can't deny their attraction until Josh's secret shatters their worlds. So there is our librarian rec. I think it was debut. For debut, I'm going with what will be not Rachel, Alicia and I's March and April read, and that is Text Appeal by Amber Roberts. STEM gets steamy when a coder takes up sexting to pay the bills in this daring debut novel, perfect for fans of Olivia Dade and Kate Damon London. As the only woman programmer at her firm, Lark is thrilled to land an account for a huge client, but her dream job quickly becomes a nightmare when she accidentally projects a scandalous and completely unsolicited picture from her phone onto a screen during a presentation. Before she can recover, coworkers jump in to steal the account, leaving Lark jobless and broke. When a friend suggests text message-based sex work as a stopgap between jobs, Lark is dubious. She's all about sex positivity, but carrying out sexual fantasies, even digitally and anonymously with complete strangers, is daunting. And I'm sure we can see where this ends up going. Without completely spoiling the back of the book. Apparently there is a young man named Toby that keeps popping up in her DMs. Random letter. We got the letter L. And so I'm going with Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren has quickly become an auto by author for me, just like Trisha Levenseller, Elizabeth Lamb, Susan Dennard, Christina Lauren. I don't know much about this book at all. I don't know the tropes that are encompassed in it or anything, but Macy Sorensen is settling into an ambitious, if emotionally trepid routine. Work hard as a new pediatrics resident, plan her wedding to an older, financially secure man, keep her head down and her heart tucked away. But when she runs into Elliot Petropoulos, the first and only love of her life, it's a second chance romance. The careful bubble she constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot and Macy's entire world, growing from her gangly, bookish friend into a man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it into the very night he declared his love to her. Break it on the very night he declared his love. Told in alternating timelines between then and now, teenage Elliot and Macy grow from friends to much more, spending weekends and lazy summers together in a house outside San Francisco, devouring books, sharing favorite words, and talking through their growing pains and triumphs. As adults, they have become strangers to one another until their chance reunion. Although their memories are obscured by the agony of what happened that night so many years ago, Elliot will come to understand the truth behind Macy's decade-long silence and will have to overcome the past and himself to revive her faith in the possibility of an all-consuming love. That sounds so good. I've never read a second chance romance, so we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, we got Sunpick. I held up 3 books for Quincy to choose from, and he chose Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. I said I would never read a Katie Robert book, but I think because of Empire of the Damned coming out in a few weeks, that I'm in a vampire-y mood. So 3 powerfully alluring vampire men and 1 queen to rule them all. It's a reverse harem. So that's all I need to know. It's a reverse harem. That is February's TBR. Let me know what you think of these books, if you've read any of them, in the comments below. Or if you're going to be reading a bunch of romance in the month of February as well. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Until next time, you are loved and you are valid.